Greetings gamers! Welcome to part 33 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 10 Radiant Dawn. And in today's episode I have much to do. First and foremost, get rid of this guy hither, as he is an incredible nuisance. I'm going to have to go here and heal. In fact, I'm going to mend so I can get all of your health back. There's only one bow guy right here, and these two are ranged and can hit. So what I'm going to do is move up with Shidon. Not going to kill unless I crit. Nice, very nice. I appreciate that more than you know, Shidon. What I am going to do is trade your Floret. Move on back with Titania. This is definitely something I should have been doing beforehand. And I am going to end my turn. That's nice that he moved back behind Shinon. Hopefully he's not going to be reachable by the Legus, because that's part of my problem here. Okay, cool. None of them are going up. Mist, however, can finish you off. Very nice. Incredible, in fact. Steel poleaxe. (17 times 2). This should mean that he will attack Mist and get KO'd. Well, there's a problem with that. I don't necessarily want her to be attacked by both. But nothing I can really do about that now. Well, except for... Is this... I'm getting another Worm Slayer. Yes! Oh man, you only get a couple of these in the game, and they're actually quite amazing. 33 might against dragons and against wyverns. That's awesome! So, total accident, but a happy accident, I would definitely say. So hopefully this guy decides to go and attack Mist. And if so... that means she'll get the experience points from him, but if not, I'm just going to have her attack and KO him. However, these two, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything about giving Mist these KOs. I will, however, be able to steal the concoction from the boss, which is Kellum here. He has a Killing Edge and a Storm Sword. Storm Sword is definitely more powerful, but the Killing Edge is way more frightening. Yeah, he only has 5 luck, and the part of the reason why that is because you're supposed to just basically do his strategy upon him, which is critting. And that is my turn. Yeah. I'm not surprised. This means that the Galleon is most likely going to be able to reach. Oh! Could the Galleon reach? Yes. So I'm not sure exactly why he didn't decide to. Not sure at all. But I'm also not going to totally complain. Shift. Rescue. Take and drop. So, Wind Edge would allow Mist to KO him next turn. Well, would've, coulda, shoulda, but didn't.
So, Subhuman, are you worried about your general?
You bet I'm worried. Without us after him, who knows what kind of trouble that hothead might get himself into. You can see we're in a big hurry. Get out of my way or I'll move you. Painfully.
Never. If you wish to reach the top, you must move me. Do your best, subhuman.
Yeah, so the Storm Sword is the upgrade to the Wind Edge. The problem is that there's upgrades to all of the throwing weapons, hand axes and javelins, and hand axes and javelins are still forgeable, so I'm not entirely sure why that was, I guess, a misstep. Not really thinking about the whole... who is going to use what and whether or not it's going to be quote-unquote balanced. I don't really care about balanced per se. What I care about is a game being fun and playable. Oh, please don't adept a second time. And he did. Thank you, Ranoff. You are even more useless than I gave you credit. The first adept was actually quite nice.
None shall pass. General Zelgius forbids it.
Yeah, even though he is disarmed, the unfortunate thing about that is he actually has both of those locked. So they cannot be stolen. Not necessary, but definitely unfortunate to say the least. Mist might actually get this KO, which would be really funny. Yeah, he's attacking Shinon. Yeah, Mist might really, for real, get this KO. Oh, that's not likely going to happen.
Ranoff, this way, hurry!
Pretty decent. 23 luck. He has a pretty decent amount of crit against her, which means he will KO her if he crits her. That's kind of super unfortunate. I don't want that to happen. But with that being said, I think it is for the best for her experience points, especially because Mr. Callum here doesn't have any more healing. I don't think this spot heals either. No, it does not.
You are too late, the General. He is strong.
You might be right on that factor, but I still defeated you. So not too late for your defeat, that's for sure. I was forgetting about the Etard this whole time. Do I even care? I mean, it's not that bad of a weapon. It's actually quite good because it's got 10 crit. I guess I will wait one more turn because Heather can reach it. I mean, she could have reached it this turn if I shoved her into the position. Doesn't really matter particularly. And you got the Etard. Nice. Fantastic. Beautiful. Wonderful, even. I guess I could just use this time to get a little bit more experience points with Mist. Why not? She is very close to leveling now. And arrive. No. Scrimmer. Stop, Ranoff. Don't get too close.
Heed my words, Legu's Alliance. I am Zelgius, General of the Begnion Central Army. Your general has fallen to my blade in single combat. My army does not wish to continue this senseless bloodshed. Leave this place immediately. Soldiers of Begnion, I forbid you to attack the fleeing Legu's soldiers. This fight is finished.
General Zelgius is amazing. He kept the damage on both sides to a minimum.
Yeah, that's great, but I wanted to fight. How am I going to get my kid of stuffed Legus now?
No, General Scrimmier was defeated by a Bjork.
If General Scrimmier is defeated, we must fight on in his name. We must get revenge. Don't be fooled by that human. Fight on, brothers.
Stop. We will fall back, brothers. Listen to me. I swear upon my life that I'll take Scrimmer back with us. Fall back.
A wise choice. Levale, go back to base camp. I have business to take care of.
What are you plotting? You could have crushed us.
True. That's exactly what the heads of the Senate want. But the Apostle feels differently. The Apostle wishes to resolve this conflict peaceably. Begnion is not united on this idea, however. So how about this? Arrange a peace proposal from your people. The Apostle would accept it. But to begin a peace talk under the current circumstances, the most favorable opportunity for a peace talk would have been when you crossed the river. You missed that chance, and now look at where you are. Think it over. I'll give you 3 days. Request a peace talk within that time. If that isn't possible, negotiations are over. I sincerely hope that won't be the case. As for the heir of King Conegus, he will be fine. Treat his wounds quickly.
You mean you didn't finish him off? Why not?
It does not matter who the enemy is. If there is a way to avoid taking a life, that is the path I will choose. Leave now. I swear upon my name that my men will not attack you as you retreat. "3 days, huh? What will the Beast Tribe do, Renoff? What will become of Gallia?"
I'm sorry, Tibarn. Now that Scrimmer has been incapacitated, Gallia can't go on any further.
Right. That's too bad. I guess the Legu's Alliance has to take a break then.
What about you? Will Phoenicius agree to a peace talk?
I haven't decided. Our force lacks numbers and supplies. We can't possibly take them on, but I imagine that a peace talk would be far from pleasant.
General Zelgius seems like a trustworthy Bjork. I also know from the Mad King's War that even the Apostle is not a bad person at heart. But in reality, the Senate controls Begnion right now. They were the ones who killed our messenger. I know that General Zelgius can't disobey orders from the Senate, but what about the Apostle? She's Begnion's supreme leader, right? Can't we just contact her directly? Trust me, we tried. All our efforts were in vain. It's not just the Legus either. Tanith said that the Apostle won't even meet with the Holy Guards these days.
Wait.
She won't meet with Tanith? But Tanith has been at her side forever. There's something very wrong with all this.
What is happening in Begnion? Well, we'll stick around and see what happens. The Legu's Alliance will disband temporarily. The problem is Gallio's retreat. You've got a lot of ground to cover before Begnion attacks in 3 days.
Agreed. And a pretty fair amount of bonus experience points. You can see, friendly army fought, 77 bonus experience points from that. They KO'd like 5 or 6 guys. That's nothing. If Miss would have KO'd 5 or 6 guys, she would have had like maybe 300 or 400 experience points. Proving my point.
General Zelgius's plan succeeds in breaking the morale and momentum of the Legu's forces. Scrimmier accepts a challenge to single combat with Zelgius and barely escapes with his life. His defeat sends a wave of doubt and fear through the Legu's Alliance. Ranulf, knowing that the situation has turned against them, orders a full retreat, and the Beast Tribes use the 3 days offered by Zelgius to recross the Riban and begin the long march back to Gallia.
Chapter 5, Retreat. Castle Gedos, Begnion.
Hey, have you heard? The subhumans are retreating. General Zelgius is amazing. As long as we have him, Begnion has nothing to fear.
Gentlemen, this is no time for idle chatter. However, if you wish to praise General Zelgius, I suppose that is all right. He is the glory of our forces, after all.
It's true. As long as he leads us, we won't be afraid of any dirty subhumans.
Gah, that insufferable fool. I cannot believe he killed one subhuman and ended the battle. Who gave him an order like that? I don't care for such a petty victory.
Understand, my lord. I was hoping that this would be the end of the subhumans, once and for all. However, can we really punish him for winning the battle?
No, you fool. That's what makes it even more bothersome. Zelgius and the Apostle are both making mockeries of the Senate. They're more of a threat to Begnion than those filthy subhumans are.
My lord, please let me fix this painful situation. I shall take to the battlefield and earn us the result Begnion desires.
That sounds lovely, I admit, but hasn't General Zelgius ordered all forces to cease fire for 3 days?
Who is in charge here, my lord? Must you follow Zelgius's orders?
Ha, I see your point. I shall leave everything to you, then. Make Begnion proud, Lord Lambroso. Celiora Castle, Begnion. Renoff has started his retreat. Tibarn and his men are gathering information on Zelgius' forces. Before he left, Tibarn asked me to take you to Gallia, where you'll be safe. Are you ready to go? No, I won't leave, Ike. I won't leave this place. Rayson, please. I've lived with the Hawk Tribe for 20 years. They are my family. I'll stay here and fight. Well, since I can see I won't be changing your mind, you can join up with us. The Grail mercenaries can stay here as long as we want. After all, we're not on anyone's payroll right now. We're free agents. Ike, thank you. More info. You need something from me, fearless leader? I thought you were asleep.
Yeah, I was. Until you came within 50 paces of me.
Do you mind fighting alongside us?
I like it fine. As long as I can catch some sleep. I don't care where I am. What can I do for you?
Ever since you joined us, I've been meaning to ask you about Jill. The last I'd heard, you were running some kind of delivery service with her? How did you end up passing through Crimea and then coming here?
I stopped to chew the fat during a delivery, that's all.
How's Jill these days?
Last I heard, she got mixed up with the army again, fighting for Dayan's emancipation.
I see. Don't you think you ought to go back to Dayan and give her some support?
She's a big girl now. She doesn't need me always looking over her shoulder. Jill can do whatever she wants.
I don't understand. I thought you two were, living under the same roof and all.
She's the daughter of my dead teacher, nothing more. Hey, if you don't want me hanging around, feel free to just say so, all right?
No, it isn't like that. You're great on the battlefield. I appreciate you being here.
Good. I like your mercenary group. They're laid back, and we have the same goal, crushing the Empire.
That's true.
Anyhow, is that all? I'm gonna nap until we deploy. Don't wake me until then.
All right.
Hey, wait. See that bag on my wyvern? There's a souvenir in there for you. Feel free to take it.
A souvenir?
It's a small thing. You don't need to thank me.
Sleep already. What a strange guy. Corrosion. That is a skill. Can cause an enemy's unit's unequipped or equipped weapon to lose endurance points equal to this unit's level. This is incredibly broken in this game compared to what it was in Path of Radiance. In Path of Radiance, it only... I think it was actually your level divided by 4? Or something like that. Or level divided by 2 or 3. It was something like that. It was something stupid. In this game, it's your straight level, and it counts all the levels of all of your previous tiers too. So if you are a level 20 third tier, you're reducing 60 durability off of a weapon when this procs. This is strong, but also a double-edged sword when you could just be disarming and stealing things. Now, you can't always disarm and steal things. That is the case. But it is something to keep in mind. If you would prefer to disarm and steal stuff, you probably want to make sure that you are not breaking it completely. However, I do have a new unit. Grayson. He is a Huron, and the bulkiest and best combative Huron in the game, with a 65% HP growth, a 5% strength growth, 30% magic growth, 20% skill, 20% speed, 60% luck, 20% defense, and 20% resistance. Not very great growths, but considering that he has the best bases of all 3 of the Legu's units, including, the Huron units, including the best HP, and he's also the highest level, he makes for a really good unit. Most of the time when I play this game, what I do is I train up Grayson with bonus experience points, for instance, the bonus experience points I have, and I give him celerity, so on and so forth. I am going to be giving him celerity for sure, for the time being. I don't know that I want to use him. I did use him particularly in the last game, and I am trying to use every Legu's possible, or every unit possible from my previous playthrough. Grayson was used, but there is an obvious better choice when it comes to Hurons, and that is Raphael. Personally, Raphael is not better movement-wise or capacity-wise or whatever. Grayson actually gets 2 movement upon transformation, so he actually has 10 movement with celerity and being transformed. The boots are a very great tool on him as well if you're going to use them for him. Now, you don't get those for a little while, so there is that too. But he is interesting. I am obviously going to be using him to his fullest capacity during the parts that I have him. Whether or not I use him permanently will strongly depend on my using bonus experience points, because if I end up giving him a bunch of bonus experience points and capping out his level, or not really capping out his level, but giving him a pretty fair amount, then I would end up just using him, because I'm not going to put that kind of investment in him when there's technically a better unit if I'm not going to use him. So there is that. Now, I do have quite a bit to manage before I move on, so I will see you all in just a few. Greetings and welcome back. Yes, I am hither, and I have made an executive decision, and that decision is that I am going to be keeping and using Grayson for the long haul. I decided to give him all the bonus experience points I had, so he's pretty far and away leveled. Also gave him celerity. I do plan on giving him the boots as well. So this man's going to have an absolute insane amount of movement. Now, the reason why I've decided on him over Raphael is one specific word, and if you can guess it, you are very bright. Canto. Allows a unit that has not moved his full movement range to move the remaining amount at the end of his turn. This is, I think, better than being able to sing immediately for 4 units. Now, some people are going to probably, or definitely disagree, and that's perfectly fine. I think Canto is a much stronger thing than not. And in fact, in Path of Radiance, I go out of my way every single time I use Grayson, which is every single time, by the way, to get the Night Band or Night Ring, or whatever. And the reason being is because it gives a unit like Rayson, who can't use the Demiband in that game anyway, the ability to move the rest of his movement as Kanto. And because I oftentimes give him the boots in that game, and there is no Celerity Scroll for him, he ends up having such incredible movement that he can reach pretty much anywhere and dance for pretty much anyone, and I can set up any group any which way. Granted, now I did give him Leguse Stones. This is going to be pretty common. A common theme is that I'm going to likely use Leguse Stones on the very first turn and then use him the following turns to dance for multiple units. It does stink having to do that the first turn. There's going to be times in chapters where it's more prudent to just use him at turn number 1 to do what he needs to be done. But as for anything else, I don't really know anything else to say. Rayson is awesome. I enjoy using him.
Ike, come out here. Hurry. It's the Begnion army.
What? What are they doing here? It hasn't been 3 days yet.
It seems they couldn't care less. They are demanding the castle back. If we don't comply, they'll attack.
They were probably waiting for both the Galleons and the Hawk Tribe to leave the castle.
Oh, they think they can take us now that we're all alone, huh?
They obviously don't know who they're up against. Let's make them remember the name of the Grail mercenaries. Everyone, get in position. Let's take them out.
Choose units.
So there is a reason to bring Heather in this chapter. Very unfortunately, oh man, I totally forgot about the fact that Ranoff wouldn't be here. So if I go and return to base, skills, yeah, oh, I could remove them if I wanted. I think I will for now. I'm also going to remove them as items, because they will stay in his party, or his, not party, but in his inventory. Rayson can have that Olivigrass. Perfect, I totally forgot about his Olivigrass. There is a reason to field good old Heather, and that is because this guy has an energy drop. If I can reach it, I am going to reach it. This is a defend for 10 turns, or defeat boss. I kind of want to give Heather the shade because of this, because she is woefully pathetic. Return to base, I guess I have to do that. Mist, I'm sorry, but I'm removing the shade from you. I'm going to give you the Adept for now. Heather, you can have the shade. Granted, I've said this before, and I'll say it 1,000 more times. It's not something to be relied on, but it would be great if it ends up helping. Especially because that energy drop is an incredible boon, worth the risk. Okay, so with that in mind, of course, I'm going to put Heather below Rayson. Reposition. So the idea is to defend this, yes. I do not have anywhere near enough units to actually defend this castle. So what I'm probably going to have to do is leave, like, just Ike and Mist down here, and I'm going to have to rescue Heather. Well, Ike, Mist, and Shinon are going to be here, and Rayson. And then I'm going to have to rescue Heather with Har or Titania. Not entirely sure who's going to do that. And then I'm going to have these three go down and deal with the boss and the boss's units, as well as drop off Heather if possible, steal his energy drop. I don't know how well this is going to work, though, unfortunately. I don't believe there's anything else worth stealing. There are a couple of items that you can find and obtain. This guy has a horse slayer. Need to be super careful of him. There's a couple of guys with worm slayers. I don't think they're going to be any kind of serious issue. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else worth stealing. No. There is an unequipped meteor. That would be nice. Problem is that I'm not going to be able to do that. Not going to be able to take that from him. There's just no way. But I'm going to try my hand at this strategy and see how well it works. If it does happen to work, it's going to be great. If it doesn't, well, I'm going to have to restart and rethink. As I've never really done this exact formation and strategy myself. But might as well fight. So, steel bow, all of these guys down here. The grand old idea is to come down here with a hand axe, actually several hand axes, as you can see. Both of these folks have wonderful old pass, so the enemies are kind of at a loss for being able to KO me. And let's keep you out of the range of these yahoos. But what I am going to do is use a Legu stone. I'm going to get ready with Heather. He does have a whopping 10 movement now, which is incredible. He's likely not hittable in this chapter, but there are folks like bow units, and I do even believe there are crossbow units. You don't want him anywhere near them. I was seriously considering putting Nullify on him instead of Celerity. If he was just 2 levels higher, he would be able to put Nullify and Celerity on, which is super unfortunate. I wish I had the bonus experience points for that, because then he would be far and away more competent. I think what I'm going to do here is put these two in this fashion, mist right here, and then I believe that's going to be my turn. Granted, like I said, this is a trial of sorts. I'm not necessarily saying that this is going to work or be a guaranteed strategy. A lot of the enemy units will still go after the actual capturing of the base, which is why I have to have at least some folks up there playing defense. Wow, she procced counter. Incredible. So Ike, Mist, as well as Shinon are going to be very well adept with dealing with the defense. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to move Heather down, rescue her with Titania, equip some kind of ranged weapon, probably the Wind Edge, because it does have more hit than the hand axe. That's the only reason why I brought them instead of hand axes, generally. And then use Rayson to allow her to move again. Har as well, after I use him to attack. I'm going to go down, bolster against all the enemies as much as I possibly can, and move Rayson up so that he can help Ike, Mist, and Shinon defend. You do not want any of the Hurons to ever get attacked because they lose a ton of gauge. Normally they only lose, I think, 1 a turn. They also only gain maybe 2 or 3 a turn, something like that. It's really small. It's minuscule. I believe they have the second. It's either the second or the first slowest gauges in this game. And there's intelligent reason why that is, at least in my opinion. And of course I brought concoctions and vulneraries and stuff like that with both Titania and Har. They're going to need it. Especially because I do not have a physics staff for my units, which is kind of a shame. I could have rectified that, however, by giving Har the physics staff that Alencia had. I don't think that particularly matters, especially because I do believe I get one sooner than later. Very nice. Har taking out all of these buffoons. Or almost taking out. It's unfortunate that he didn't take that general out. And he is a goner. It's crazy that the masteries were given the ability to crit as well. I can understand why they wanted them to be somewhat stronger than they were in Path of Radiance. You could have just made it so that all the masteries, like, ignored defense or halved defense. I don't think they needed to be as busted as they are in this game. I really do not. I think it was a little bit overboard. Just in my personal and humble opinion. And as you can see, having 10 movement on your Huron is kind of exceptional. However, with that being said, I think this is a perfect and wondrous opportunity for me to bid my farewells. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.